Hello, delicious friends, and welcome to Bloodlost. This is Vampire the Masquerade. We're going to play it. These are Thin-Bloods. These wonderful people are not in the right order because we're supposed to have a sheepy, but his camera dropped for some reason, so it might be his internet. Anyway, he hopefully will be along soon. But for the moment, let's introduce all of the people and see who is here and doing what and what character and stuff. So, welcome, Delphron. Sup?
Yo, so I'm Delphron, Deli, Nigel, probably the best streamer here on Twitter. I play Nate. He's a little rascal, power hungry. He also has some good little tidbits to him. You can find me everywhere as Delphron.
Awesome. Daddy Sheepdo, aka Metamancer. You're in the wrong slot.
I was going to make a comment and I decided against it. But you guys all know where I was going to go with that. But anyway,
I don't actually. I'm interested now.
You never know.
Yeah, do it. Otherwise, we'll be wondering.
No, I obviously he would introduce himself as, "Hey, I'm Sheepy and I broke my dick." But then, okay, all right. So for reals though, I'm Metamancer. I do tabletop and game RP. And I will be playing Alex Moreau, the very strange and gothy vampire that is possibly going to do some really stupid shit soon. Perfect. Probably, definitely. But yeah.
All right. And Fuzzy. Sup?
Hello, who am I? I'm Metamancer, and I'm super cool, and I'm a goth. Yeah. And I could kick your ass probably, and my makeup skills are on point. God damn it. Hi, I'm Fuzzy, and I do fuzzy things. And currently, I'm playing Dong Simulator a lot. And I play Florence, who's old and has a terrible case of rats and a crossbow and an SMG now. It goes brap.
Awesome. And I'm Josh. I'm the GM. I make vampire videos about TTRPGs, and I make these lots' lives difficult.
Did we forget EE?
Did we forget EE? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we don't have to do me later. That's fine. And last but not least, Interrogating.
Hi, I'm playing Ferris Vaudeville, the best toreador in this entire damn city.
Good.
Aren't you the only toreador in this?
Details, my dear.
Details? That's fine, yeah, okay.
I was going to bring it up. Right, so previously they had captured Ferris's main rival, the Vontru Primogen, Bradley Grimald, or Bradders for short, unfortunately, and taken Nate's touchstone from Bradley, who he had turned into a Vontru, into a kindred. And after Ferris jumped off a very high building and low-key tried to burn said fresh childer, they all went home. And Alex began the arduous task of creating an unbinding brew. I think that's the main parts. So I would like to bring us back to the moment in Ferris's club, in the private room where Alex is working. Nate, are you looking after Renala?
Yes. Nate would definitely be like, just trying to like keep her comfortable, not even like keep her in torpor, make sure that she's like not moving. Didn't Bradley like move or something?
Opened his eyelids to destroyed eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Nate would maybe push the stake a little further in just to make sure that it was definitely him.
That happens, and the stake is nice and secure. Despite your lack of strength, it's already most of the way in there. Doesn't really change much. But the stake is still in Bradders.
Yeah, or not, I think you take a seat somewhere and try and maybe wash off the flames and stuff. Like the scorched plastic and stuff or whatever is in their skin.
Okay. So
Oh, did we do the humanity roll for Nate?
No,
for
we
next
did not.
time?
Oh, you're right. So, Nate, as you have lost a touchstone and it was partly your fault, you
Ever so
received
slightly.
you received 4 stains, I believe. Let's take a look at your character sheet.
You've been a
There's
very
only 2
bad
dashes on my thing, but I remember you you marked them in for me, and I don't know why there's only 2 now.
Oh, I don't know why I marked them in for you. There should be 2 more. So fill in 2 more, and then...
But I thought, yeah, you put in 4 though. I remember you putting in 4.
Oh. And sheets are weird sometimes. Please, do me a remorse roll.
Will Nate feel remorseful?
I guess
Can
we'll
Nate
find
feel
out.
remorse?
Modifiers are 0, right?
Modifiers are 0. 1 success on 1 dice. Your humanity stays where it is. And so, talk us through Nate's line of thought for his new relationship with Renala. the new
Okay,
character.
so in Nate's head, I guess he kind of didn't really expect her to be in this position of like a trade-off. And I think he's hoping that if he can just keep on Ferris's good side, keep her safe, he can kind of somehow keep her there. Maybe that's holding him on the balance. Like, there's still a chance for Anala to, like, I know she's maybe in the mess, maybe she might be happier in the mess, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, Nate, as you, I guess, maybe clean her up.
Oh, he definitely checked her to see if she had like her phone or anything from Bradders, just that was like on her. I probably was burned to a crisp, but he would definitely just check for like anything like important or anything that he like, even like something that he would like maybe recognize that was on her that she would think was important. You know, like sentimental shit.
No, I think you find nothing on her at all. Like, it seems that she's been purposefully removed of any identifying information or anything that might get her or Bradley in trouble. And as you are looking, I'm going to roll some dice. One success. Which is good, because that means Renala rouses. Her eyes open, and she just looks at you, Nate.
No. Okay, so who's in the room with me? Is Ferris and them still in the room with me?
I think we're all in the big room that we just dumped everything in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lawrence is in the corner with a cup of tea.
Alex is on her own with the lyre, getting ready for the ritual.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Ferris will be wandering between everyone then.
Ferris,
Yes.
she's awake.
Where am I?
I just try and rest, Renala.
Florence is there with the SMG, just like,
Yeah, just try and like. Nate's hand is slowly going to move closer to the stake. Does she have a stake? No, she doesn't have a stake. She was toppered by the damage, right?
Yeah, she was so badly beaten up that, yeah, she just went into torpor.
Can Nate dominate her? No, he's not going to do it. It'll probably fail.
It's like your
No, I don't know.
catchphrase. I love it.
I was gonna say, maybe I'd dominate her to like relax, but you might freak out that way. So no, we won't go there.
Okay. Yeah, she just opens her eyes and says, "Where am I?"
Just relax. Don't worry about any of that right now. You need to rest. Don't worry. You're safe.
I've got a gun. It's fine. Don't worry.
Put that away.
What?
Please don't fire guns inside my club.
It's precautionary.
Yes, precautionary would be a little bit more silent, preferably. Though I appreciate.
Florence pulls out the crossbow instead.
What are you going to do, Nate? What are you going to do?
We're not going to do anything. Don't worry. Like we were just. Don't worry. It was. The guy you were with was trouble. You're safe.
I walk over during this conversation.
Totally. Nate, roll me wits insight.
Oh, okay.
One success. Never mind.
Oh.
Nate, look away.
Yeah, sure.
I put my hand on her forehead and hold it there. Pull out a knife, and I'm just going to gouge both her eyes out.
Oh dear, I don't think that's necessary, is it? What the? Oh! Oh!
Wait! What are you doing?
She obviously screams as you gouge her eyes out, but it happens quickly and efficiently. Ferris, obviously.
She's a kindred. She can heal that if she spends enough time. But also, she's blood bonded to her sire.
You don't think that's something you should tell a person before you do that?
Well, she could also dominate you. She's a significantly powerful kindred compared to you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's nothing permanent for our kind.
It's still not very nice, though.
No. But what she would do if she just caught your eye, she could tell you exactly what to do. I'd rather have to just let her recuperate her eyes rather than having to do that to you.
Well,
I guess you're...
You don't heal the
Julia,
same.
we need tissues in here!
You notice that aside from the blood that was splattered, she isn't bleeding. She's
there's
dead.
vitreous humor everywhere.
Ugh.
Is that a lens on the floor?
Ferris, do you think you should take a stain for that?
Yeah, I'm Humanity 6, so sure, I'll take a stake for that.
Very well. That was particularly cruel. All right. Shortly after this event, you're all in the same room, correct? No, Alex is off with the other guy.
The human.
Yes, the mortal.
In the study or something, right, at this point?
Wherever we set up the alchemy.
Yeah, that was in the study.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. We will get to you in a minute. Because Ferris, Florence, and Nate hear a knocking on the door of the private room.
You guys expecting anyone?
No.
No?
Who is it?
Good evening, friend. It's your seneschal.
Best behavior, everyone.
What's a seneschal?
Would you like to explain, Josh? You know better than me.
Oh, okay. Well, what you see enter the room is a woman. Ferris would know her name is Emily, and she is the seneschal of the city. With the prince in a somewhat incapacitated state, the seneschal is currently second in command after the prince. And most
Do I know
stuff...
what clan she is? Being the seneschal, I imagine I probably do, because she's quite high profile.
Yeah. You would have suspicions. She has never... You know, you can do either an intelligence or wits politics?
Do.
Oh, I should probably have that there. 2 successors. You're relatively confident she is a Ventru.
Okay. Emily, it's lovely to see you again. I bow. I go to kiss her hand.
She bows back, and she looks around, and she just says, My, Ferris. 3 Thin-Bloods, 2 staked licks, and 1 mortal with a badge questioning your patrons. Mr. Vaudeville, you are in trouble.
Well, luckily I was just about to reach out to ask for an audience.
Excellent. Well, audience away. I am very interested in hearing what you have to say for yourself.
Well, by all means. Would you like a drink or a seat?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm here on business.
If nobody's looking at her, Florence is just going to...
Yeah, fairly certain it worked.
Well, a few things have come to light recently, one of which has been that Bradley has been siring kindred. Moreover, we have found information that Bradley has been experimenting using kindred blood and mortals. Kind of been taking some sort of pharmaceutical supplement derived from us. I go to the desk and pull out the sheaf of papers. In addition, this lick here was sired recently by Bradley last night against the orders of the prince. When I confronted Bradley about it, he seemed to indicate that the city was his, to do with as he pleased. I, of course, informed him that that was against the current status quo, which point he attacked.
A solid story. May I have a look at that information of yours?
You may. Hand her the papers.
She rips them up. I'm very sorry to say, Ferris, that you found yourself in a very sticky situation. There are hounds waiting outside your door. And you attempting diablerie upon these 2 kindred here. You attacking someone in someone else's domain and consorting with particular Thin-Bloods is troublesome. However, I'm willing to cut the bullshit with you.
I always appreciate that.
I know you are loyal to a fault when it serves you. And so I have grown tired of Mr. Grimald's politicking and power grabbing. And now he's in And she just moves over and puts a single finger on the steak and wiggles it about. I think he probably spasms a little bit because of that. I've grown bored of him, I'm afraid. There's a position open, Mr. Vaudeville.
However I may serve you.
Very well said. Bradley's work has been instrumental in constructing the foundation of a new age for Kindred. And I would like very much someone with your talents at my side when we do that. His part is done. Unless you disagree, of course. Would you like to be part of the aristocracy of my new empire of blood? And we can negotiate a price.
The Camarilla.
The Camarilla has crumbled. I'm sure you understand that. The ivory tower is rotten. And so it's time to replace it.
I understand. That does seem an awfully forward-thinking viewpoint. My concern, however, is that there is at least one other powerful kindred in the city who has plans of his own. What do you plan to do about Mr. Gaze?
I don't think I'll do anything about Mr. Gates. My friend has been instrumental as well. The Nosferatu are as the Nosferatu do, and they shall remain so as per the agreement we have made.
Well, provided you have all the bases covered, I will serve as best I can.
Excellent. Things will change rapidly, Mr. Vaudeville. We will take our place at the top of the food chain. And so, in exchange for this new position of power, I'm afraid I will need some assurance. You will be bonded to me and serve as my right hand.
I will serve as best I can, but I don't think that is quite necessary. You are obviously far more powerful and more politically influential than me. You are older and have more experience.
There are barely a handful of kindred left in this city. Political influence means nothing.
Your contacts and your wisdom is still far older than mine. I have only been around in any sort of capacity for the last few months. I also would bring to your attention the Thin-Bloods, and I'm going to gesture towards just Nate. Looks over to the corner where there's no Florence. It's just like, okay. These Thin-Bloods were instrumental in everything we've done. I'm just sorry that because we were ill-informed, we did not know that we were unfortunately getting involved in your own schemes.
My schemes are complete. And I have need of someone with your strength. There is only room for one of you. So it is your choice. Be bonded to me and live in the Empire for the rest of your eternity, or allow Mr. Grimald a place. And I think you know what he would like to do to you, because it's probably the same thing you would like to do to him, and I'm very willing to look the other way.
Your discretion is very much appreciated. There is one other thing you should think about before you consider Bradley. There is something wrong with his blood.
And what's that?
I do not know. Something is in the city that I am not privy to. I'm sure you have more information than me.
There is a significant lack of witches in this city, so I am afraid the likelihood of any of us finding out what is wrong
I have
is low.
other sources, luckily, who are working on it. I regret I cannot take you up on your offer if a blood bond is conditional. I'm looking away from her right now, looking towards like the fake fire and just apologizing.
Make me a charisma persuasion roll. It will not be easy.
Yep. Okay, I've got +1 from presence. My persuasion.
I don't think it works on kindred presence.
It does. It's just they can always roll to just counteract the presence, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It's only 1 dice anyway, but
That's
I will
fine.
rouse check. Rousing success.
It's a good start.
For successes, I will willpower to reroll 3. Six successes.
6 successes.
Oh, and it crit because I've now got 2 10s, so 8 successes.
8 successes.
Sorry, dog.
I was looking for 7.
Crit, yes.
The
Thank
crit
you.
saved you. I will not bond you today, Mr. Vaudeville. The offer stands as it is, with the contingency that, should you displease me, I will instantly bond you. And depending on a few conversations I will have, I may have to take your thin-blood pets away.
That would be unfortunate. They are...
Harbingers of doom, Mr. Vaudeville.
True. But considering that a new kindred was sired tonight who will have no place in this new society, I thought maybe one of the people instrumental in bringing that kindred to be here could take their place. Poetic justice.
You're looking for a child.
This group of Thin-Bloods have been useful. They have earned it. Harbingers of the end are not. It would be better if they were not harbingers anymore.
I will consider it. I have another meeting to attend. So please, consider our deal struck. and she reaches out her hand.
Theris is going to turn around, but only after he slides the knives back into his sleeve and shakes her hand.
Okay. You know what? She's gonna insight that. For successors, you are very, very dexterous. She probably has an inkling you were doing something, but you're always doing something. Okay. Please, Mr. Vaudeville, tell me where I can find Miss Moreau.
Do you have a first name?
Alexandra.
I believe she is here. I can go look for her. I wouldn't hesitate to keep you waiting, but I will bring her back shortly, if that's okay.
Very well. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. I will nod. Nate, Nathaniel, be on your best behavior.
Yeah, of course. Sir.
I wink at him. As
He's
my back's
I
turned.
think he's gonna like look up. He's just gonna keep looking at like the floor, Ranala.
I'm gonna go find Alex. And as I do so, I'm gonna make sure I very much shut doors immediately behind me to make sure that no one is following me, even if they're invisible. That's not targeted at Florence. It's targeted at just in case she brought other people.
Fair enough. Okay. She waits. Where in your place is Alex?
The office,
Study
I
/
imagine.
alchemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's down a really short hall and literally like one room over or something from the main room.
Cool.
I enter quietly.
Alex is working. She's bled some of the blood from the human that was there, and has started to combine it with another looking blood liquid of some kind.
There's someone here who wants to see you.
Okay, hold that thought. Just need some of your blood, and then this will be done. Hopefully.
Hold out my arm, pull out a knife, do the same thing again.
Yep.
Can you talk and work?
Yeah, I can.
We have
do both.
about 2 minutes.
Good. Okay. Who wants to see me? Who even knows I'm here?
The seneschal of the Camarilla by the name of Emily.
Good.
Prior
That's
history,
good.
or just worrying about the name? Right.
Cards on the table, branded Emily. Right. That's bad. Okay.
How bad?
It can't be good. Wait, what was she doing here?
She came to extend me an offer which I refused part of. She said she's willing to put aside the original traditions of the Camarilla and the Anarchs and try and rise above it. I don't know if that's good for you or not, but she did ask to see you.
Did she specifically use those words that she wanted to see me?
Yes. She asked if you were here.
Right. Let's finish this just in case I don't make it out of that.
You will.
Josh, do I need to roll anything to complete
make
this?
the thing? I don't think so. However, when it is drunk, that is when you need to make the roll. I will say You get a +2 bonus for the special ingredient, the quality of the ingredients that you've used. So I guess note that down somewhere for later.
Okay. I will do that. Cool. All right. I guess I'm gonna. Okay. Let's go. I guess. That's great.
Is it finished?
Yeah, just drink it whenever you feel like. Obviously, sooner than later, because blood. But
Ferris downs it.
I guess in that case, Alex, you have to make me a... Was it intelligence plus alchemy? For your particular brand of...
I think it's resolve, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's resolve, but I have to look
Resolve
for
was
it.
mentioned a couple of sessions ago, I think, when you were talking about it.
Okay.
Do you want me to do a resolve alchemy roll?
Yeah,
+2
sure.
because of the quality of ingredients?
Yeah, +2.
Okay.
And you will be able to reroll if you like.
+2. 4 successes.
Ooh.
Do you
4
wanna-
successes. So,
Do you want a willpower?
How many rerolls? 2.
Yeah, 2 that you can.
Yeah,
Or,
might
I
as
mean,
well.
you could reroll 3 if you want, but you run the risk of losing a success that way.
Nah, I'll just do the 2.
I always forget to tell people that.
Nope.
Nothing. Nada.
Nothing.
But it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Thin-Blood alchemy is special in that the amount of successes doesn't really tell you whether it works or not. It just tells you how well it works. And you hit the threshold for the power working as it seems to be intended. Which is very fortunate. Ferris, you feel like there's a weight off your shoulder.
Is that a good sign?
Well, it was a sigh like last night.
Right.
Good sigh.
Good.
Now, before we go in, I owe you a debt. I am rather fond of you, and I'm in the habit of keeping my debts and making sure they are paid.
Right.
Are you
Okay.
okay?
No, I'm good. I'm glad it worked.
Is there anything you want to tell me about Emily?
I just remember the name. I know she was part of, or the person who did my brand. It was, I think, that night was kind of blurry.
Well, let's not keep her waiting.
Let's not.
Is the guy here still alive?
He's probably still kicking a bit. Barely.
Slug-like motion is about the most you get out of him.
I'll just also call Juliet to my study to take him out.
Okay, yeah, Juliet's used to getting rid of the garbage. So she comes in, she leaves. Ferris.
I was worried when he says it in that tone.
You're going to have to make me a willpower roll.
Okay. One.
One success is not enough. And you are feeling the onset of a headache.
Is it meant to give me a headache?
I don't know. Are you prone to headaches?
Not since I died.
Okay.
I tell Juliet to, instead of taking that guy and just leaving him outside, take him to the cells we have below for later. Just in case we need more ingredient.
Okay, that happens.
Would I know if this is something that would happen from what I gave him? From all the ones that I've done before?
Intelligence occult.
Okay.
Two successes. Doesn't seem like something that you've ever seen as a side effect.
Yeah.
You're fairly confident that the quality of the ingredients was good enough, and that like you did a pretty good job.
We've all seen scanners, right?
Yeah, I think Alex would be like, I don't think it was the blood though.
Something else then. Either way, we can discuss it after you talk to Emily. Our 3 minutes is up.
Yep. After. If there's an after.
There will be.
After you? Your house?
And you're the guest. Open the door for her.
Alex steps through.
Okay, and you make your way to the private room where Emily is waiting. Nate, you see her looking at her watch and starting to get very impatient. And I guess in the meantime, she looks at you with just a questioning look and just looks between you and Renala. Renala is not moving now.
Yep, Nate's not going to make eye contact. He's not going to open his mouth. He's going to stick to exactly what Ferris said and be on his best behavior, so mouth shut. He's just going to pretend like he's not even worth our time.
Yeah, Florence is just there, like.
Maybe like casually looking around the room, like not even like looking up, but just like at the corner of his eye, just trying to see if he can see Florence's legs or like any indication that she's still here.
Funny thing is, with a seneschal and Thin-Bloods, that's probably the best thing you could do.
Not the worst idea I have ever heard from Nate.
Yeah.
He's terrifying. Especially because she was like, we're going to take your pets. He's like, not even going to screw this up at all.
I think I can very quickly fix the...
And if Renala is like a bit away from him, he's not even going to reach for her. He's just going to like stay in his spot, restricted, not even move.
Cool. I'm going to quickly move around the things because it's annoying me that you're not all in the right places. So you make your way in.
You hear a big sigh of relief from me.
And like you get the biggest side eye from Emily, who is not best pleased. However, Emily asks that everyone else leaves, apart from Alex.
Florence is just going to sit very, very quietly and hope that everybody's forgotten about her.
Nate will try and leave, but he'll get up, look at Ferris, and then to Renala, and kind of like will I take her with me, or will I leave her here kind of a look. And if he doesn't react, Nate's just going to leave.
Okay, everyone, leave.
Nate like nod and then just like sliver out. Maybe cast a glance around just to see if Florence is like gonna come, if she was still even in the room. And then leave.
Ooh,
And he's
interesting.
probably gonna find some like back room hidden in a deep dark corner. Like, out of the way.
Ferris is gonna glance over at Alex to try and get the "is this okay" body language.
She'll make a very subtle nod to let him know to go if she asks.
Florence, sorry. Can you roll me a manipulation stealth roll?
Okay. Also, do I have my willpower back from last?
Yeah, you can recover composure or resolve's worth. All of you. I would just like to know whether Florence will be present for this.
Right,
It's
hang on a second. So was it
manipulation stealth.
Manipulation stealth. Oh.
You can re-roll 3, but the target was 4.
Yeah. So in that case, Florence is probably going to sort of like Florence is going to get up and be like, oh, bugger, I've dropped in. Oh, hello. Right, I'll just be going then.
Does she always act like that?
Like what?
She ignores Florence and talks to Alex.
I'm 85, you know. Come on, babies, let's go.
She's odd. Yeah.
Okay. I just assumed it might be an act for being caught. Never mind.
No, she's just strange.
Oh, well. Not the strangest things in these nights.
No, definitely not.
Alex, it's been a pleasure knowing you over these last couple of months, watching your progress. I see you have found yourself a reliable source to feed upon and use your alchemy upon. And I'd like to invest in that.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because it is in the best interest for the new power structure to be able to control the mortals. But currently, I'm afraid to say, Mr. Vaudeville is a knowable but fully unknown factor within our new power structure. And so I would like you, as you appear to have gotten close to him, to inform me about his comings and goings. I'm sure you're intimately familiar with those.
You want me to spy on him for you to what end?
Until I'm confident that we don't have any problems integrating him, or maybe even you.
Why would you trust me with this?
Because you're disposable. I can get to you quickly. I know where you hurt. And even if things don't go my way in the next few nights, I will be well within my rights to end you. I know it's not the most amicable situation between us.
Has it ever been?
I was a little bit sad to see that people weren't happy to see someone with such talent using it for things they weren't comfortable with. Breaking a bond is significant, and it makes people uneasy. They were afraid of you and what you could do.
Were as in past tense.
I haven't asked around recently. I'm going to assume that people still are wary, but that brand you have is reassurance enough.
Unless you have some other way to break them, if it fits into your new empire.
No one is particularly interested in breaking them, I assure you of that.
So then, why risk me being here at all?
Would you like me to end you?
No, just curious as to why bother.
Because I've been asked to, politely. As I said, the aforementioned herd that you've acquired. It's a good way to control them. If you live long enough, we can teach you more. But for the moment, I'm going to offer you an enhancement to your fans. An extra few people, making them easier to control, finding the blood that you're more interested in finding for your experiments. I'm sure those talents should be encouraged.
Okay. Just for information, was that our exchange?
Information on Mr. Vaudeville. And I think probably something else. Ah yes, a simple promise. After looking at my notes, I would like you to promise to never use your brew to unbind someone from my empire.
How big is your empire going to get exactly?
Once we find a way out of the city, I have contacts in London, and we can expand from there. A certain John D is particularly interested in what's been happening here, although communication is very difficult.
And I'm assuming you want an answer right now.
Yes, I'm very busy. Despite the speed of my speech, I want to make it perfectly clear that this is the only offer on the table.
So it feels like you're going to let me live if I do these things for you, and that's maybe about it. And some blood. A couple people. Is that right?
Don't underestimate the usefulness of mortals. They have their place. Is there anything you'd ask of me?
I would like you to give Miss Vaudeville a permission.
Oh? What for?
So that I don't have to be a Thin-Blood anymore.
Well, lust for power is not something that I'm unfamiliar with, so I agree.
Okay then.
I will warn you. The terms of this condition will be rather strict.
I expect no less from you.
I shall return to Mr. Vaudeville and inform him of his new permission. She stretches out her hand.
She stretches hers out as well. Looks her dead in the eyes.
Would you like that to have any particular effect? Are you trying to just...
I think it's more of a narrative character thing than it is like a physical power thing.
Okay.
But I don't know if...
You're not trying
I don't
to
know.
unsettle her or anything like that?
I'm just letting her know I heard her and I get the risk that I'm taking, but I'm also not a pushover kind of deal. Not like a... Like, yeah, you branded me, but I'm still here kind of thing.
And I think she has a little wry smile for you, that she understands that the only reason you're here is by her permission. So she leaves. She returns to Mr. Vaudeville.
Can I wits awareness that entire conversation?
Do you have heightened senses?
No. I'd just be listening to it normally.
Okay, then yes. But it will be quite difficult.
I anticipate so, but Ferris would try nonetheless. 2 successes.
2 successes, you have 2 dice you can re-roll if you want.
No, I'm happy that Ferris would try, but I'm not going to push it.
No, 2 successes is not enough. You built this place for yourself. It's probably reasonably well soundproofed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yes, in that case, Emily returns to Mr. Vaudeville and tells him the exact terms of this permission, which are: you may bring 1 thin blood into our full-blooded empire. Please choose wisely. And please only use 1 of the 2 corpses that you have in your room. I'm assuming the other will be for you.
Do you wish me to bring someone in by embracing them, or do you wish me to let one of them diablerize from the corpse?
That's up to you. But there will be only 1 more full-blooded kindred in this night. Anything that is left over must be destroyed. If I find out it is not, me and the Hound will return.
Very well. May I ask one thing before you go?
Absolutely.
I haven't heard from the prince in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that you are taking good care of him.
He has been unwell.
Well, that is awful to hear.
Mm.
I'm glad you're taking care of him. Oh, I assume that the establishments of this city will fall under my jurisdiction, as per usual.
In the new empire, some of the old rules will be carried over.
That is awfully kind of you. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Ferris. I do hope we talk again soon. At court.
I bow, nod my head.
Okay. She flounces off. And Juliet comes up and basically informs you that after being told about it by Emily, she has basically isolated and is in the process of removing someone with a badge who is not so subtly interviewing people in your bar. But she says she's dealt with it.
Did you get a name?
No.
Picture from the CCTV at least, then?
Absolutely, sir.
If you could print off a few copies.
Yes, I will.
Go back into the other room and gather my posse of Thin-Bloods.
what's happening exactly then?
Yeah, what's the plan?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what the conversation was in full with Alex. Alex, do you wish to...
I'll
Very
wait
well.
on that one.
You have a few choices. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a shift in the city. You can leave my house. You can leave my domain. You don't have to be associated with me anymore if you don't wish to be involved with what comes next. If you do, then there is a choice. One of you two gets to become a kindred.
Florence just looks at Nate like,
One of us two. What about Alex?
The seneschal was quite insistent that only one of you can become a kindred.
well, I'm out. I don't know. I don't want to, but no, I'm fine, thank you. I'm quite content just how I am. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I should have included you. I assumed that was the case, but I should have at least included you. My apologies.
Oh, I thought. Oh, never mind. No.
So what are you gonna do, Florence? You just gonna run, hide? You heard her. We're basically don't exist to her.
Well,
You're-
you'll be
No,
that
I-
wherever you are in the city.
I'm all right with not exist. Look, the sewers are nice and cozy, and I know my way around now.
You can stay here and still partake in what comes next, but you don't necessarily need to be one of the two who...
What's coming
Yes.
next?
I'm not exactly too certain.
Nothing
There's probably
great.
going to be a power
Nothing
struggle.
great. I can tell you that much.
That sounds awfully serious.
Yeah. Can I
You
speak with
still-
you privately
Oh,
first?
That is
You may. If that's okay with you, Nathan, Florence.
Yes, although I would like to have one quick word with you. Yes, if there's going to
I
be.
guess we can form an orderly line then.
Florence shuffles in
I'd
front of
feel
Nate.
safer if we had these talks outside of this room. If that's okay.
Outside of this room?
I don't want to leave this room only to come back in to find my choice has been taken away. If that makes sense.
Your choice will not be taken away.
Do you want me to stay and guard them, dear?
We'll just go into the study.
I do not want to leave these corpses, considering that they have already displayed the ability to at least open eyelids when they're in torpor. No one will be leaving these unguarded. Nathan, do you trust me? I've been good to my word to you.
Yeah, you have. But trust isn't.
The decision will not be taken away. That decision will be made with both of you two present in this room.
I have your word, Alex.
I don't plan on doing anything with your friend over there, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Nate will leave. He'll take one look at Renala and then he'll leave.
Florence will leave as well. Cup of tea, dear?
Yeah.
I'll have Emily guard the door as well.
Juliet.
Sorry, Juliet.
Okay.
Yeah, Juliet's gonna make sure no one
Asking the
listens.
seneschal to guard the door for you.
Yeah, Seneschal,
Big
just
power
oh,
move.
you're my bouncer for tonight, right?
Yeah, come back over here and guard this
Yeah.
door.
Big power play.
I do not want to join that clan.
Has
Huh?
Emily's clan.
No. Well, Toreador. I want to be Toreador. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. So, tell me what we need to do.
Well, I would diablerize Bradley,
Mhm.
and then I would embrace you. It's painless. It's a feeling of intense pleasure that flows through you, much like being bitten. And then
Okay.
you would drink of my blood, and after a short period of being dead, you would rise. The downside is, you would be bonded to me as part of the embrace.
No, I wouldn't. And now you're the only one who knows that.
You are lucky indeed.
Not so much with Emily around.
I have no intention of letting Emily get to you.
That's not what I'm worried about. She's very uncertain about you. In case that wasn't obvious.
Well, the terms of our deal, I insisted, of course, that I not be blood bonded. I have a particular distaste for blood bonds. I know that was pushing it. I am lucky. And perhaps my tongue is particularly skilled this night.
Perhaps. So what about Nate?
Nate would want to diablerize his friend.
Do you think he really will do it, though?
He was uncertain before. I may have pushed him a little more to make sure that he kept his friend in torpor and brought her here. I'll let him know the full ramifications of what it would involve. If he still wants to go through with it, then you two can chat. The advantage of doing it the way you suggest is that at another point in time I can then sire another kindred and another kindred. If Nate wants to eventually join Clan Toreador, that option will always be open to him. If we go with Nate's route, I can't sire anyone of Clan Toreador without first diablerizing someone of a greater generation than my own. It cuts off our possibilities. I won't make this decision for you and Nate, though.
I already told you what I wanted.
Good. I like a kindred who's forthright. I have a small request from you, though.
What's that?
That headache still lingers. Would you mind checking what is wrong with my blood, and if need be, repeating whatever that experiment was, or modifying it?
I can
Something
look.
doesn't sit right. Thank you. You mean a lot to me, Alex. I'm going to assume that Emily asked you to keep tabs on everything going on here.
And another condition. I don't break any bonds under her empire.
Well, good thing I'm unbonded right now.
Good thing.
I'd also like to see you try breaking my bond if I was.
Oh. Yeah.
One thing. Keep an eye on Loki.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to fuck the coterie and do it successfully, it will be Loki.
Yep. That's true.
I'll tell the rest of the coterie to keep an eye on someone else. Loki's the only one I'm really worried about, though.
Understood.
He's been very helpful. Possibly too helpful.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Blast from the past.
Well, that's bollocks then. Blast and pass, but you're not okay. You can at least tell me.
Things are going to get really bad before they get better, I think.
That's the story of this town.
Hopefully, we live through it.
Well, maybe you'll die through it.
One can hope.
Is there anything else?
That was it.
My door is always open.
Thanks.
Ferris is going to get up and go over and kiss Alex.
Oh. She gives him a smile and then goes back into fucking fuzzy. Goes back to the side. Stands on the side.
I believe Nate will want the same. If you wouldn't mind standing
Yes,
outside while I talk to him.
of course. Alex opens the door. Looks like you're up, Nate.
Yeah.
It was my go next, do you mind? That's a cute young man.
That's
Nate.
right.
Best for
Up to
last,
you.
Florence.
Nate, you can have the choice. Do you like to go last, or would you like to go now?
I cute. I was stood in front of him.
Nate will like look in a little bit, and if you can see that Renata is like there, he'll nod to Florence. You asked, you can go.
Oh, thank you, young man. Right.
Thanks, Alex.
Would you like a cup of tea?
I would love a cup of tea. Yes, please, dear. Yes, I can murder a cup of tea.
Ferris goes over to the cart nearby and starts making a cup of tea.
Tea. Lovely. Right. Yes, I wanted to, since apparently everything's going to kick off, I want to make sure my daughter's all right. I want her out of the city if possible. I want her to get away. I don't want to hear if there's going to be a war or anything.
Very well.
She's vulnerable, and they know where she is. And
How would you like me to take her out of the city, though? I can easily arrange for her to get an Uber. But I suspect she might be resistant to suddenly leaving the city for no known destination.
I think that she and my grandsons, it'll terrify them, but I think you should just take them out of the city for their own good. I don't know. There's no way. She won't listen to me. She doesn't know who I am. I'm so worried, but I don't. She
That's
won't go
okay.
willingly. She won't go willingly. She's stubborn. She just takes after me. But I think if you just took her and made sure she was safe and put her somewhere, and maybe found her a job. I don't know. Maybe find her a job, or I don't know.
I can maybe call in a favor with someone else outside the city and get her a job.
That would be probably the best, actually. But she has to be out of the city, so if she doesn't take the job, you'll need to make her go.
I can provide relocation money.
I will do
Money is
anything. I will be in your debt. More.
I will see what I can do.
Thank
Have you
you.
got
dear.
her address and name?
Yes.
It's hard to relocate someone without knowing where they are.
I know. No, I'm just a bit.
Your concern does you credit.
Spent bloody years looking after her. She didn't even know. Like a birthday card. And Florence will sort of like get out a pen and paper and write down her address and tear it off the probably greasy shopping receipt she's written on it on. And just, there you go, dear.
Whose domain is this in? You're muted.
Don't know. It's probably in old Tremere territory.
Are they around anymore?
You just don't know. You've not seen one after the death by death by lupine of oh god, I can't even remember his name. Can't remember, but yeah, there was one.
Yeah, that's okay.
That was definitely for sure, but the rest of them, don't know.
This is in Old Tremere territory. I'll do what I can. If she moves of her own accord, there's no problem there then. Is there anything else I can help you with, Lawrence?
No, well, no, that's it. That's the only thing I really care about, I think. Mm.
Oh.
Yes, everything else is... Yes, as long as my daughter gets out of the city and my grandson's...
I understand.
as
Family
I
is
say.
important.
Yes, it's the most important thing.
Yes.
Mm.
Don't worry. I will make sure that she's well taken care of.
Thank you.
Now, just a word of... a small request, a small favor. Your coterie is still young. If you could just make sure to keep an eye on Alex. She's new to your coterie and still trying to fit in.
Oh, certainly it is. Yes, I'll look out.
Just look out for her.
Mm, yes. All right, then. I will do, yes. I hope she likes tea. Mm.
I'm sure she does.
Lovely. Right, anyway, I better get going. Thank you so much, dear. It's very kind of you, Very, very kind of you. Yeah.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Lovely. Thank you very much, dear. And Florence will just, totter out of the room. Cup of tea in hand. Ooh, tea. Thank you, dear. Lovely. Right, young man, it's your turn. Thank you for waiting.
Thanks, Lawrence. And Nate will look back at Alex if she's still there, just briefly, and then walk in.
She winks at you as you walk in.
He tries not to show any that it bothered him, but it must have bothered him.
Florence is there going, would you like a cup of tea, dear? Oh, how are you doing?
Juliet offers to have a cup of tea or coffee or beverage of your choice delivered to you.
Wait, to me or to Florence?
To Florence and Alex while they wait.
Alex shakes her head no.
Nate, can I offer you anything?
No, I'm okay. Thanks.
A seat then?
Sure.
Now, what bothers you most?
What bothers me?
Well, most of all, I'm sure there are a lot of things going through your head right now. It's not easy being in your position.
Well, I think we both know that I don't want to be a sewer rat anymore.
Don't let what other people say get to you. There's always a bigger fish when you're a kindred. To you, I might look like I have everything together, but to me, there are still people far bigger, the seneschal being one, the prince being another. To them, there's the central camarilla, the group who dictates how everything is done. And to them, Methuselahs and antediluvians, if it's to be believed. Just because someone says you're a sewer rat doesn't mean you are.
I agree. But that doesn't mean I have to remain as one. If that's what you're getting at.
No, it certainly doesn't. I was maybe not entirely honest. We're in the middle of a somewhat hectic situation before.
Honest?
Diablerie is something that is not my specialty. It is an act that the Camarilla has looked down on for its entire existence. It is possible that when committing diablerie, you can absorb someone's soul and they can take over your body. It's also the norm that when you commit diablerie, their soul is destroyed. It's not quite as cut and dried. If you commit diablerie on Renala, there is a chance she will take over your body and walk around in you. It's unlikely, but it is there. There's
And what
also a
happens
chance-
then?
Well, your soul is destroyed.
But what happens to her?
Her body crumbles. Her soul becomes you.
And you'd let her live?
I wouldn't have a choice. No one would have a choice if Emily found out. You'd both end up being dead. Emily would not want to have a kindred brought into the fold who she didn't at least know.
I see.
The other choice is that you delaborize her, you absorb her power, you become a Ventru. And her soul is completely and utterly annihilated. Now, whatever your particular religious beliefs, I don't know what you hold to. Obviously, this afterlife means that a lot of your religious beliefs may take a bit of a hit. No soul means no afterlife.
I'm more focused on the here and now. I think we both had that in mind that night too.
Yes, if it's one flaw of mine, it is I do tend to focus on the here and now. So here's the other possibility. If you diablerize Renala, I have to destroy Brada's corpse. I can't sire anyone else into the family. I can't bring in Alex. No one else gets another option. If you let Alex in, I get to diablerize Bradley, which makes me more powerful. I can then bring her in, and then down the line I can sire you, and I can sire another person, and another person.
Wait, so why? So if I pick Renala, you don't get a choice?
No. My generation only sires Thin-Bloods. Emily is quite insistent that no more Thin-Bloods get sired, and it wouldn't do you any good anyway. You're already there.
But why does Alex get first if you do Bradlers?
I assumed you wanted to be a Ventru. If you want to be a Toreador, then you can still talk about that possibility.
I feel like it shouldn't be off the table if that's...
Quite be it for me to take things off the table. It's your
But-
coterie's option. You're instrumental in capturing Bradley and Renala. I believe I was at the bottom of the skyscraper at the time.
I don't want her to... Either way, I lose her, and I want to play the long game, I do, but so far the long game hasn't worked, you know? And I'm tired of waiting.
Here's the
But I also don't want to...
You're currently a Thin-Blood. You age, you feel weak, you sleep, you feel hungry. When you become a kindred, you live forever. Age is no obstacle. Time is merely just the passing of days. The long game has slightly more appeal, even if it is somewhat distasteful. I'm not going to make the decision for you. My personal preference, if it is at all important, is that I diablerize Bradley and bring someone into the fold, because that way I can eventually bring more of you into the fold. You all earned a shot at this. It's not for me to hold it out from you.
What if I deserve a shot at this? then shouldn't I be first? No offense to Alex, but I'm here because of you. And Brothers is over there because of me. Alex is the muscle, yeah, but I think I have more dominoes in this game than people give me credit for.
I'm pretty sure this offer is only extended because Alex is here. This offer would not be extended to us, and we would be wiped out root and stem by the seneschal if Alex was not here. Regardless of the number of dominoes in the game, it is not for me to dick count. That kind of situation only ends with you fragmenting and having no allies and no friends, and you will need allies and friends. Your coterie needs to stick together so that you at least have someone to rely upon. A 13th generation new blood will get nowhere and will be considered another rat. Maybe not quite a sewer rat, but still another rat. You need those friends, you need those allies. And coming to me and saying, well, I did slightly more than Alex, or I did slightly more than Loki or Florence, is just going to end up with what? You want me to make a decision against them? Fragment your coterie?
I don't want to be against them. Of course not, but I don't want to make this decision at all. But I'm not going to not make this decision, you know? You've been good to me. You've been better than some.
Well, I hope so. Some are bastards.
Yes, some are. So, if we go with you, only one of us moves forward as a...
That's Emily's decree, and I don't really have another option.
But you've chosen Alex for that, right?
No. That's your choice as a coterie. If you're both agreed that you want to be Toreador, then we'll move ahead with that. But one of you two will need to be first. The other might need to wait. Be it a week, a month, a year. I can't tell you. That's for you two to decide. Whether you decide to draw straws or have a drinking contest. That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. That said, there are certain laws that come with being a childer. If my child were to break the masquerade, both my child and myself would be put to death. Final death.
Delightful.
Good to me. You have sided with me when it was detrimental to yourself, and you've been rewarded for that, and I intend to reward you more. Your history with subtlety when it comes to the masquerade is less so. You have to convince me right here and now, if I'm not to pick Alex just for safety reasons, that you can uphold the masquerade, because it's not just your life at risk, it's mine. And if I die, the rest of your coterie will probably die as well. I'm not against letting you pick. I just need you to convince me. If you're going to be a Toreador, if you're going to be a Vantru, regardless, you will need to have a way with words. You've already learned how to be particularly polite. You let Florence go first, even though you were worried. Now you need to convince me.
I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not going to beg. But I have learned a lot. And I was rash and maybe a bit arrogant when I tried to show off. I wanted to impress. But I also was still living in that headspace of needing to survive too. You did fucking leave, you know? And I think I've done well in the time that I've been I'm not going to say it's not going to be easy. It'll be hard, and I'm trying to learn. I've held back with your decisions towards my friend, and I respect them 100%. I don't think I would have been like that before.
Decisions.
To gouge out her eyes and stuff. And I wouldn't have been as trustworthy as before. But I do trust you. And I do want this.
That speech was reasonable. Mostly, though, you left it lying on how much you wanted it. I don't doubt your sincerity about how much you want it. What I'm concerned about is whether you can be trusted with it. In which case, let me ask you a similar question. If I give this power to you, if you decide between the two of you, whether you draw straws or whatever, if I embrace you and bring you into the clan, if you breach the masquerade in a way that will be a final death for both of us, I want you to promise me one thing.
What's that?
You will kill yourself before it gets known.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you. You've assuaged my interests. Sorry if I was somewhat harsh on you there, but you need to understand the full weight of this. This isn't some fling. This isn't going to be a summer in Ibiza, 3-month fling and done. This is not going to be married for life and done by the age of 70. This is for eternity.
Yeah. I think it took me a while to understand that. There's rules in place. And if I want to do what I want and not be a sewer rat anymore, then those rules need to be my life now. Your rules, one could say.
I'm impressed. Thank you, Nate.
Okay, so for the moment, as I'm assuming the rest of them get together to decide what diablerie will happen in what order and by whom.
One last thing I wanted to ask Nate before.
Oh no.
Oh, well, don't let me get in the way.
Nate, in which case you can decide with Alex. If I can ask a small favor of you, though.
Of course.
Florence can be a little bit of a loose cannon sometimes. It's to her credit that in some circumstances she acts remarkably fast and decisively, but sometimes she can be a little bit a double-edged blade. Just make sure to keep an eye on her, look out for her.
I'll keep my nose on her. How's about that?
Perfect. I don't believe I've given you enough credit until now. So, before you go, instead of fucking you as an unequal, how about a proper handshake as equals?
Yeah. I'd be honored.
Ferris stands up. He's going to keep eye contact with Nate and put out his hand.
Yeah, Nate's gonna be like, he's gonna put his hand out, but he's gonna be like a little bit unsure of it. But he's gonna put his hand out and try and be as confident. But it's clearly he's not as like.
When Ferris senses that through the handshake, Ferris is just going to step in and like put his arm around the back of Nate's shoulders and kind of bring him for a half hug.
Yeah, Nate's gonna like let it. I think Nate will probably like even relax his shoulders a little bit.
By the way, if you ever see Loki, I need to have a conversation with him. He's missed a lot. I need to bring him up to speed.
Sure.
And that's a good point for us to attempt to travel across the city. Underneath the rock and bedrock to some sandstone caves, where hopefully Loki is there.
How's the signal in the sandstone caves, Loki?
Is it low signal? He's chatting away to me on Discord, and it doesn't look good. The picture's fuzzy. He literally can't hear me.
The frame rate is like 2 FPS, if that.
He kicked his computer accidentally, and now the fan's broken and it's overheating. So we're not gonna get a scene with Loki betraying you all, unfortunately. But just know it's going really well under there.
It's lucky that at the end of the last episode he did say, I'm going to go somewhere separate.
Yeah, that was really handy. But R.I.P. Loki, rocks fall, all the Nosferatu die. In that case, I think what we should do is just continue as we were. With anyone in particular, does anyone want to have a one-on-one conversation, or would you like to bring the group together? We can go whichever way you like.
I'm down for getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Let's have a beach episode. Woo!
It's one of my favorite kinds of film. So
Let's go
do
to
that.
the beach. Great.
Beach episode.
In a lovely suntan.
Florence in a bikini.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alex probably waits for whenever Nate gets out the door.
Oh, with just you, Alex, and Florence. Florence, Alex, and Nate even together.
Well, Alex was gonna talk to Nate.
Oh,
she knows,
okay, yes.
But like,
Yeah, Nate will like come out and like.
she knows that he's got to make a decision at this point. So, I think we should talk.
I think that'd be best.
What, all of us?
Just Nate and I.
Oh, all right, then carry on.
It's my study.
Thank you.
So you go back to where Alex was brewing things. You find, I'm assuming it's standard style scientific glass equipment.
Yeah.
Maybe some metal things, Bunsen burners, all that.
Yeah.
Smeared with blood and various other detritus on the inside.
Messy worker.
Neat tricks. I bet you're a pleasure to have at parties. And Nate doesn't like say it sarcastically. Like he's like totally like admiring like her work. As he like walks around and has a look at little things.
I don't know about parties, but maybe. At least for the people that are not contributing materials.
At least you have something to contribute, you know? In the wider picture of things.
Are you saying that you don't?
No. I'm just saying it's more widely recognized.
I have an ability that most people are afraid of that has gotten me almost killed so many times. I don't know if that's really contribution. It's definitely a hazard. One that's become more prevalent for me, especially today.
Yeah, that conversation earlier was definitely highlighted your particular skill.
I realize that you've been with this coterie for longer than I have, and I'm basically the new kid on the block for you. But I have been hunted since the start of everything. And I need to be able to defend myself.
It seems you're very good at defending yourself already.
Not against what's coming.
And what's coming?
If you don't know, or you don't have any idea yet.
I have an idea.
Do you?
In case you're curious, we'll decide what to do with my friend later. We're going to go the other route. And Nate will like meet her eyes.
Right. But then there's a decision that has to be made.
Yes, there is.
Right. A decision for an option, for a choice that wasn't presented to us before. Until I asked. Specifically. One that you would not have been given much option for anyway. Unless you're just in it for yourself and you don't care.
No, this is a team game.
Okay. Obviously, you want to ascend, as they say.
It's one word for it. Yeah. And I get that it's not preferable to you, and I can respect that.
So how do we decide?
I'm not sure. As I said before, you seem to be in a preferable position.
I am basically standing with my back against a wall and a stake mere centimeters from my heart. Preferable position is definitely not that. But I appreciate the optimism.
Not so optimistic, but more so I admire you. You're strong, cunning, and you've got skills.
Say what you want to say, Nate.
I want it. I believe I've need it more than you. I think there's a way we can do this and bend things to our will to turn that stake around, you know? What you say people fear about you, we can use as a strength.
I'm disposable to Emily.
Not to us, not to the coterie. You might think of yourself as the new person on the block, and trust me, I've been there. If only you'd
I'm always the new person on the block.
gotten to know Marco, you might But no, you're one of us. And I don't want to make this decision.
You know I'm not.
You can believe that all you will, but Ferris trusts you, so I trust you.
Everyone wields me like a tool and a weapon. And when I have outlived my usefulness, that'll be it. I'll be on my own again.
I don't believe so. I don't believe you're a tool. You got
If
skill,
Emily
yes.
came back here and told you to kill me in order to take your place in this empire of hers, go ahead and tell me that you wouldn't do that.
Let's not go over ifs situation.
I'm asking because this is important for the decision that's about to be made.
Emily's not Ferris. If Ferris said so, that would be a different story.
You are naive, aren't you?
Naive. Perhaps. It's how to see. But I don't believe you're a tool. I believe you're a wielder of a very powerful tool. that we can change things with.
Well, I suppose we're gonna have to find another way to settle this, because I definitely am not giving up the option unless it's very clear cut that that's what needs to happen.
I agree. I thought you wouldn't.
What would you like to do? How are you with sparring?
I think we're going to take another path, love.
Worth a
I've
shot.
seen you in battle, and you got that down.
A game of chance, then. Seems like the.
I like
fairest
luck.
way.
Luck's been good to me. It's been good to you.
You're funny. I'm starting to see the humor now.
Everyone does eventually.
Okay.
All right.
Luck it is.
So I'm assuming you get a pack of cards. Not difficult to find in Ferris's office, I assume.
No. Do you want to do this in front of Ferris, or...
No.
The two of them remain where they
Yeah.
are, in conversation with each other. And, I mean, there are cards in Roll20. Let's see if we can bust them out.
Okay.
Show. Right. Let's shuffle the deck. What kind of card game would you like to play? Just a simple, quick highest, or a...
That's a good question. Huh.
Or would you like to roll dice?
What would you want to do?
Flip a coin.
Yeah, we could flip a coin. To be honest, yeah.
Should let a rat decide.
That's not
between
entirely
me.
random. Yeah, it's entirely your choice. How do the two of you decide the game of chance?
I kind of want to make it fun though, rather than just like, you know what I mean, just like throwing a dice out there.
Yeah, I
So
think a fun thing would be.
yeah, I'm trying to think.
You could do something like each person rolls a dice, and then you have to guess if the opponent's is higher or lower than yours.
Could do higher or lower.
Okay. Wouldn't that still show up on the?
I can do a GM roll
rolling,
and
you
it'll
would
tell
see it.
you each your dice.
Do you want to do that? Do you
I
want to
will-
do something else?
I will
If
do
you
it.
GM roll to the GM, only the GM and you will see it. So you'll see your own dice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously chat will as well, but
Yeah, so you'll have to hide from chat temporarily.
yeah.
Okay. What? Hold on. How do I do a GM roll?
You
Slash,
type in,
GR.
yeah, slash
slash
GR
GR.
and then
Okay.
1d10.
Okay.
Okay.
And the same with you. Okay, you each have a number. Now, is anyone using any sort of sleight of hand?
I don't know if I have anything for something. I don't know if Alex would. She wants it really bad though, but she doesn't have like subterfuge or anything, so it's kind of one of those like.
Yeah, neither does Nate. I think he would try and like do his best with it if like I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he has
Maybe
any
to,
skills that
like-
would,
Read his expression, maybe something like that.
Ooh. Ooh. I
Nate would
mean, this
definitely-
I
is
also
going to
have
have to be.
aspects, so
This is
Yeah.
going to have to be in real life because,
That's-
like,
that's
you
the
saw
advantage of
people's
this.
reactions. We can do a best of.
also- You can also ask the other person, and they don't necessarily have to say it. You can try and read the expression on them.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you would like to ask each
Yeah.
other, who has the high number?
So what are we trying to do exactly? Are we trying to guess who has the lower number or who has the higher number, or just like
All
what?
you have to say is whether you think the other player has a higher number than you or a lower number than you.
Okay.
And we know our own number, basically.
You should.
So.
Do you? Do you know?
Yeah, I see mine in Roll20.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to determine if our opponent has the higher or lower.
Mm-hmm.
What if we both guess right?
Then you roll again.
And you roll again.
Yeah.
And best of however many rounds we need.
Oh, okay.
So no one's doing any sleight of hand. I'm not going to make you do rolls for like expression reading.
Okay.
You're just going to have to do this IRL.
Okay. Okay. I think that Nate rolled lower than me.
I was gonna say the same for you.
It's kind of hard. It's literally 10. There's 10 options here.
Right?
Numbers.
I'm gonna say that you were lower.
Very well. I can confirm that Delphron, you are wrong.
Ooh.
Meta, you are right.
Oh God. I'm sweating. Okay. Again? Best out of 3 or something? Or do you want to just stop there? It's up to you.
If you wanted to, I'll take those chances. But if you want to take this as a win, that's up to you.
No, it's up to you. You've been here longer than I have.
No, I don't mind. I feel like Nate wouldn't be like, he would just take the answer and be like, okay, if that's what you want to do. But if you want to do 2 out of 3, I'd do 2 out of 3.
Should have decided this first, really.
I thought it was 1, but
Yeah, that's what I thought going into it.
because you have
Okay.
to repeat anyway. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
And to be fair, I don't know if I would have repeated 2 out of 3 if it was me that won. So-
True. Okay. Fuck it. Alex is a bitch. Okay.
Alex, you have won.
Okay. Okay. Okay, back in character whenever we finish this card game or whatever.
Nate will extend his hand.
She extends hers back. Mutual respect.
Looks like the tool is no longer a tool.
Wow.
Out
Hopefully.
of favor, though.
What?
You help me take care of my friend in a respectful manner.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go back, shall we?
I guess we should let them come in since we're in there.
Yeah.
you're in the
Oh.
office, right? We're in the room with the bodies.
Oh, that's right. You are.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So we do go out. Yep. After you.
Okay. And Nate will like just walk back. He'll walk back kind of confidently, but kind of like you can see it in his eyes that he's like a little bit disappointed.
Delphron, do you want to check your DMs? Oh, you did. Did you?
I was gonna, and then I was like, nah, I think Nate wouldn't.
Okay.
Given his history with everything.
Oh God.
Just checking. Very well.
If it was before the handshake, definitely.
God damn it.
I'd already pinged Josh saying, just so this doesn't end up being like really meta knowledge, I fully intend if Nate wins to be like, Nate, did you use mind powers?
Never mind. There's more chances for me to tempt you to do things. in the
Plus,
future.
in Nate's mind, if Alex did win and he used powers and it came out, he would lose the chance at all. So I think the fear kind of overwhelmed that kind of thing.
You'd lose more than that, I'll be honest.
Perfect. Okay. You return. I'm assuming you inform Ferris.
You're back.
Alex doesn't even say anything. She just looks at him, expecting him to realize what happened.
What happened?
I'm assuming since Nate isn't jumping for joy that you won, Alex.
What?
We came to an agreement.
What agreement exactly?
What happens next? That's what.
All right, but what happens next?
Well, I'll do the first part, and then I will...
Yep.
Nate,
Yes,
I'm impressed by your self-restraint.
it took a lot, but it's the right path, I think.
That means a lot to me. It's good to know you can be trusted. And your time will come.
Sorry.
You should really get that cough looked at, Florence.
Yeah, Nate's gonna glare at Lawrence and just like, but we aren't. I mean, if that's okay with you, Alex agreed to help me solve the other problem, and he'll like look towards Renalek and like.
Would she be okay with cremation?
I believe so.
I will help you as well, then. Emily wouldn't give me another choice anyway. The time will come, Nate. I'll make sure of it.
What time, though?
Tea time.
Oh, good. Yes. It's always tea time, really. You sure? I'm not as green as I'm cabbage looking, you know. I know when people are up to things. Can't pull one over on me, you know. No.
Ferris. Describe the room and how you do it.
The room's got to be about 10 meters by 6. Wooden flooring instead of a dark oak. Wooden paneling in the side with sort of lights that come out. Fireplace at the end that's very old and really looks like it should be a proper fireplace, but has an electric fireplace in it instead with a fake fire. Some big pictures above the walls and stuff. And just a tarp with 2 bodies on them. It's just a little bit incongruous right now. And Ferris just gets up, walks over, looks down at Bradley. Bradley's in torpor, so he's fully aware of his surroundings, right?
His hand moves towards you.
Bradders, you really shouldn't have fucked with me. I bite him.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I'm just young man. That's not a good thing to do. It's bloody dangerous and just don't hurt people. I know it's bad.
Alex goes over to Florence and just kind of grabs her shoulders and says, "Okay."
Look, that's bloody. Look,
Tea,
it's terrible.
perhaps?
I don't want tea. I don't want tea. I want him to look. It's. I didn't know. It's not a good thing to do. It's not.
If he doesn't do this, he's gonna have to kill him anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Better to give him a clean death.
I'm gonna need you to do one thing before we initiate the diablerie. Ferris,
Okay.
roll me willpower.
Good luck.
3.
3 successes is what you required. As you taste and drink his blood, there's not a lot left after the time and the battle, but you feel a familiar sensation wash over you as you find sympathy for him immediately after drinking his blood. And it takes all that you have to remember your vendetta to keep going. Please do a strength and resolve test, difficulty 3.
I assume because I'm drinking, I'm going to rouse check.
That is absolutely fine.
Do you want me to roll the rouse check because the blood will immediately wash it away?
I'm not interested in that. That's not a problem for you at the moment.
Yeah. Three.
3 successes is enough. Do one more. 4 successes is enough. Do one more.
I'm so scared right now. I'm going to
One
willpower.
success is not enough.
3 successes.
3 successes on the dot with some willpower. Everyone sees Bradley Grimald start to writhe and then just stop with rigor mortis as parts of him begin to go blue and yellow and rot and slowly turn to a brown-grey sludge as parts of him start to slide off of the bone, and you can see the fangs exposed as his face becomes a skull. Lose 1 point of humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Please roll me your new humanity score plus your blood potency.
2.
That is 2 successes. I will now roll his resolve.
Can that be willpower or anything?
This one, I'm gonna check for you.
Thank you.
Humanity. They must roll a contest of humanity plus their own blood potency.
Can you rouse that either as well?
I have a feeling you can't because it's a humanity roll, and as that's a tracker, you can't re-roll that sort of thing. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
He's going to resolve plus blood potency, which for him is 6.
Lose a point of humanity?
He won 2 to 3. So yes, the difference in here, 1, you lose as humanity.
Okay, done.
But you now go from 13th generation to 12th. What humanity are you on?
4.
There is a distinct change in Ferris's mannerisms, movements, and disposition after this. But the deed is done. A diablerie has become successful. Or at least Ferris knows. The others just saw a body decompose.
Ferris's eyes have become very pale, like his irises are kind of a grey-green now. Very oddly pale. Turns around.
Is that still you?
Should we have Juliet come in and compare and contrast?
Can I do a oh god, what have I even got? Do I have a cult? Can I roll a cult to try and?
I'm gonna say, can I just roll awareness to see if I notice a difference?
I'm gonna say it's probably an insight roll, but wit's insight to tell.
Shall I roll wits insight as well?
Yeah.
Let's all do it for the hell of it. More rolls, the better.
Florence, you're probably the only one that notices that there is a difference, but under it all, the things he's saying, the fact he hasn't tried to immediately murder you is probably a good sign.
All right, well, we're not dead. I still remember when John did a thing to that man and was going to kill my daughter.
What man?
What?
John did what to what man?
Nothing, forget I said anything.
It's okay, Florence. You're among friends. It's still me.
He
Ferris.
lost.
I just thought of something. Ferris. You now feel back at your full strength. Your blood seems to be fully under your control again.
So the things don't come back, but I just feel under control. I feel more centered. Okay. Either way. Any questions?
No.
How are you going to do this?
I give them like a good 30 seconds after saying no to be like, really? Are there no questions?
Nope, everything's fine here. No questions.
Okay. And we're going to talk about that John fellow diablerizing someone later on.
Of course.
Well, how do you think you can turn into a giant bird?
What?
I don't know what generation or what clan he was. But
What,
apparently
John?
he's absorbed a clan that doesn't normally turn into birds.
Well, no. He was mostly smashing people's heads into walls and being all...
Yeah.
Gangrel.
Yeah, those, the forest people.
Gangrel? I think it was Gangrel. Pretty sure it was
Gangrel.
You know there are
Gangrel,
gangrel in
yes.
the forest.
Yes, Gangrel. Yes, he was one of the Gangrel, and it was all rare. And then he dragged that man, and and then
Which man?
the one who's trying to do the blood ritual.
A gangrel diabolized a Tremere.
Yes, and now John turns into a big ass bird, and it's quite weird.
Has he diabolized any more people?
We're not sure.
That sounds suspiciously like a yes, but you can't confirm it.
I don't know. I've barely seen him since he flew
Well,
off.
thank you for your candor anyway, Florence.
Oh,
Anyway, the next part is... Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Nate, between me and Alex.
Florence,
yes,
you want
dear.
to go get some tea?
Oh, I'd love to. Yes, why not? Oh, yes, I could just murder a cup of tea. Lovely.
Thank you, Nate.
Nate's gonna look like really sadly towards Renala. Kind of grateful that she didn't have to like melt away to bone, but then also kind of sad that like his like one little chance like power is like once again kind of dashed and put on hold. And I think they'll leave. Yeah.
I called Juliet in to just mind Renala's body.
Mm-hmm. She dutifully stands by Renala's body. She's armed, so if anything happens...
Tell her if the eyes come back, just poke them out again.
Will do.
Would you like to go to my study?
Yes.
Go to the study in silence. Close the doors. Okay, first things first. Part of the rules about being a childer is that I'm responsible for you. I don't know how much you know about all the bullshit that goes on.
Nothing, really.
In which case, the rules, as they are at the moment, is that I'm responsible for you. If you fuck up or you breach any rules, which I will exhaustively tell you at length, which there are several that are important and several that are less important, then they both kill you and they kill me.
Right. Mutually assured destruction.
Pretty much. So it's in my interest right now that you remain loyal to the Camarilla and don't do anything blah, 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 blah.
Right.
My intention is that instead of that, you're just honest about what we have to do and what you do. You're independent. I've tried to remain as independent as I can. I wouldn't want to impede you.
I don't feel impeded. As I can, at least. Considering.
I know you've been used by people.
Everyone.
While your skills are useful to me, my intention is not to use you as a tool. I'd prefer, if there be any analogies, you to be more an employee. I have been used by a tool myself for over 100 years. I have no intention of making anyone else feel like that.
Right.
Are those terms acceptable?
Yep, they are.
In which case, on my behalf, as soon as you're turned, you'll be blood bonded to me. I'll immediately ask you to break that blood bond.
I won't need to.
Should it happen anyway, you'll be a kindred. I'm not sure how that will affect you.
Okay. I think she's gonna take a knife and let out a lot of her blood into one of the vials. Actually, probably a couple of them.
If we're going to do this, I would prefer to do it properly.
Okay.
I'm going to take it to the bedroom.
Very well. Exactly what do you intend to do? In not obviously graphic detail, but I need to know the mechanics.
Wow, Josh.
Like we're playing Monster Hearts. Jesus, man.
Yeah. What's your sex move, man?
My favorite one is Where Are the Fluids, which belongs to, I think it's the Unicorn playbook.
Whew, unicorn fluids. Don't want to know
Yep.
what that is. Probably multicolored, though.
I assume you're asking because of my humanity.
No, I am asking because I need to know exactly how you intend to bring Alex into the clan.
Okay, well, mid-act, I'm going to bite her. And
Okay.
as I'm draining her, I'm going to let her bite me.
Okay. Alex, go to 5 hunger.
Okay.
And Ferris, increase your hunger by 1. Trying to decide exactly what happens here.
At 5 hunger?
Are you constipated? Are you okay?
I'm just trying to think. Give me a minute. Ferris, get me an intelligence occult roll.
Eat him! Eat him!
0 successes.
I'm good.
Okay. Cool. I think when you are done, that is exactly what happens. Alex. You are at hunger 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a significant amount of blood. So I'm going to need you to do a hunger frenzy roll.
Yes. Do I have to add anything for the difficulty value?
If you're human... Yeah, so at the bottom of the sheet there should be a frenzy button. And I think if your willpower and humanity levels are correct, it should do the maths for you.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Frenzy.
Oh!
4 successes.
That's actually more, because it got crits, but it didn't calculate the crit for some reason.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's 6.
That is
Almost
6.
6. Wow.
That's very fortunate. You restrain yourself from drinking Ferris dry.
Yes.
She would have tried.
And yeah, what happens next?
I have no idea. The last time she got turned was a very big blur, so I have no idea what happens.
She dies temporarily, right? For like a short period. Either way, I'm getting food sent up.
Okay, good idea. That's what happens next. We will, as far as you two know, the status quo remains.
It'll kick in soon. I'll get food sent up. You seem a little bit famished.
Thanks.
Ferris puts a towel over the bite mark in his shoulder so that it's not obviously bleeding, and just goes over to like the house intercom and just buzzes. Oh, I don't want to move Juliet. Actually, I'm gonna phone Nate.
Nate picks up. Yes?
I'm sorry to ask this of you, but Juliet's somewhat busy. I don't suppose you could do me a favor?
Of course. What do you
You
need?
could find someone downstairs who wouldn't be missed and bring them up.
Any particular type?
Consider it waiter's choice.
Okay. I'll be up in a moment.
Wow, you're the butler now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Nate's gonna like probably explain to Florence what he's gonna do, and then head downstairs.
Florence is just there like bloody idiots. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
And Nate's probably gonna find like the most attractive person.
Absolutely. It's not difficult at a bar night. It's getting late in the night, but like, so most people are pretty intoxicated or on something, so you can find a very attractive person.
Very attractive if they're more not as seeping of alcohol, like more palatable. I think he'll go for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the sexiest person is skunk drunk, then yeah, he'll grab them. And he'll just dominate them and just like follow me.
Sure. That happens. Make me a wits awareness.
You sure? Where am I?
2 successes. Seems like a pretty cool person. Just very attractive. The bar night seems to be going well, very crowded. So, you dominate a person to come with you. Not very difficult. No point in making this difficult for you.
He'll
take
go
them
to the room before the room that Ferris is in. So if it's like a hallway, he'll wait in the hallway at the person.
Yeah, Ferris will be in the hallway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. There's someone blindly following Nate. You can
Nate?
take them with you if you want.
Just take your fancy.
Good choice. When I first met you, you were impulsive and just wanted power. maybe without necessarily considering the ramifications of your actions. Now, you're still a little bit impulsive and you still want power, but at least you consider the ramifications of your actions and you better understand the context of them. Should I get the chance, I'll be happy to induct you. And now I know what you'd like afterwards.
I think we'd all like a slice of this afterwards. Nate's not even going to turn around to acknowledge the person. He's just going to say
Nate, thank you.
Yeah. Of course. It's a team game. And Nate, like, turn and walk.
I check out his ass. I'm gonna wits awareness that ass so much.
Sure, if you wanna. Right. The person comes in. Alex, you are very hungry. You can keep yourself under control, but there's food here for you, basically.
Time to get some snacks.
Yeah. I'm assuming, Ferris, you offer this person to her?
I bring the guy in. Just shut the door. Dinner's ready.
Grabs. Nothing is said. She's hungry.
Okay, make another hunger frenzy roll to see whether you eat them.
Poor sexy man.
This poor sexy man becomes a poor sexy husk. You are now at hunger 0, Alex.
Cool.
You don't feel any different.
Okay.
Ferris. She doesn't look any different, but more importantly, you can hear her whispering. And your headache's getting stronger.
I don't suppose we could get to that alchemy stuff right now. I'm sorry to break up the postcoital bliss.
No, that's fine.
Your power will come with time. Just give it a night.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
All right. Figure out what the heck's wrong with him. That's what my goal is right now.
Sure. You can take some of his blood. You can taste it. You can see what's going on. And for that, I'm gonna let you do an intelligence occult plus your alchemy.
Okay. Wow, that is a bad roll. Cool.
You don't know what's going on.
Nope.
You can taste resonance, probably of yourself in his blood. But that's about it.
Yep. No idea. Something else.
It's getting stronger.
Did you get a chance to read all those documents before she apparently ripped them up?
Some.
They're mostly on your floor at the moment. You could probably piece them together if you spent some time doing it.
Totally ask Florence to do it.
She's
I
pretty
love
good at that.
jigsaw puzzles, yes. In fact, there's a non-zero chance that Florence is already just there going, oh, I wonder if I've still got that sellotape,
Well,
right?
you know what? We need to deal with Renala. And I bet Florence loves jigsaw puzzles.
It would be nice to know if there's something to do with blood in there.
It would be very nice to know. Oh, I forgot to ask, was that good for you?
I'm going to just walk away. Alex doesn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah. So let's. Nate and Florence, are you downstairs? Are you elsewhere? Having a cup of tea together now?
Florence has probably actually gathered up the bits of paper, just sort of absent-minded, and just like, oh, I wonder if that's probably interesting and useful. So she's probably having a cup of tea and also sellotaping bits of paper together.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do Witscraft.
Wits and craft. Don't I put anything else in craft, I wonder? No, I didn't. That's fine. I'm gonna willpower re-roll that if I can.
Yeah, 2 dice you got.
You guys,
That was 1 success. Oh, 1 success.
it's hard going, man. She's torn it all sort of like she's done that thing with like the paper shears in half.
Can Nate help her at all?
Yeah, you can make your own Witscraft roll if you'd like. But as you're putting these things together, I think, just for simplicity's sake. Oh, hang on, I haven't done this in a while.
Got a 1.
You did got a 1.
Stop it! I think we're just getting in each other's way. That's what's happening with me.
Basically, what Nate took is like he took like probably the biggest pieces there was and just went. On a second, there you go.
No, it's not right. Look, that doesn't even match up on the opposite sides. Look, see the margins on the wrong side. What is wrong with you?
Florence, you are focusing so intently on making sure these pieces of paper come together in the right order that you start to see patterns. There's something here. There's something extra going on. And I think you are going to receive a -2 dice penalty to rolls involving dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits. Or in
Both
fact,
of us
I'll
are
just
just to Florence.
for just Florence.
It's just me. Yes, Florence is having a moment. So was
Florence is having a moment.
So
but-
Dex.
I DM'd it for you, so you don't
Okay,
have to
cool.
write it down. But for the moment, as you focus more on the patterns that you see between these seemingly unconnected things, Nate, you're like, she's piecing bits together that are not anywhere close to even the same shape, let alone sentence.
I can see it. Yes, no, it's.
You see patterns that then jump off of the page. And there is something going on behind the closed door where Ferris and Alex are. And you know it's not good, you knew that already, but there's something else that is linked to this web that you are now perceiving.
Okay.
Oh, This and this is yes. It's linked. There's a link. There's a thing. I see it. It's a thing. There's him and something and this. It's all linked. Don't you see? It's all. I need to
How about you calm down,
everybody.
Florence?
I need no. I need.
Nate's gonna try and dominate her.
I need. Wow. I need a wall. I need some red string. I need some pins.
Corkboards and red string. Don't worry.
I have a cigarette.
Don't worry, Florence. And Nate, you don't have time to do any of those things.
Okay.
Because as you are pointing to the door that Ferris is behind, Mr. Gates appears in front of you, Florence.
Oh, fuck. It's all linked. Ah!
Hello.
Good evening. It's a pleasure. I have arrived to ask a favor of you, Florence. And you know how our favors go.
I know how your favors go.
Perfectly. Good. I need you to summon Corway. I will give you an address and a time, and you will bring her there.
What if she doesn't want to go?
You have to make her. That's why I'm asking you.
I mean, I'm not very good at making people do things in general for some reason.
I'm sure your charming ways will win favors with her. So,
Was that sarcasm, young man?
no, I need you to do the job. And I'm not asking you to do a job that requires strong arming for a reason.
Well, I'm not very charming either, though, am I, really? I mean, in general. I think you're being sarcastic, young man. I don't appreciate it.
Do I look like I'm being sarcastic?
Well, I can't really tell, to be honest with you.
Is there a way that Nate can text Ferris while Florence is distracted? If it's going to be obvious, he's not going to attempt it, but if he can.
You can definitely do that.
Fuck.
Yeah, a text that just says fuck. That's going to be a dexterity subterfuge?
Great.
Does it get a plus because Florence is currently giving Mr. Gates shit about sarcasm?
I will modify the difficulty.
By the way, is
I don't
Corey
appreciate-
the daughter?
No. Corey's the Nosferatu who was helping us out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
our. She's just deep throat essentially.
2 on 2 dice is pretty good. Whatever happens, he certainly ignores the fact that you're
Frantically texting.
texting.
It's not even
like
funny,
under the table?
He probably just takes out and just texts with, like, Ferris, Gates, study.
Florence, I need to know whether you're going to do this for me or not.
Well, I don't have a lot of choice. I'm just saying that I'm probably. I don't really. I can't guarantee that she'll come. I'll just try.
I
but
sprint down there as fast as
not-
possible.
Try.
I'm not sure. Look, I'm not sure, but I don't. What do you want her for? Are you going to hurt her?
No. You can wits inside that if you want.
I will wits inside that.
He's just going to sit there, watch her, and just sip his tea. Like, he's not going to do anything.
Get there with
Right.
celerity.
Hang on. Do I get a minus to wits and insight? I do.
Yes, you do have a -2 to wits at the moment.
Fuck. Okay, cool. Where's my insight gone? Strength. Wits. -2. I'm sorry, Corey.
Oh!
But still.
How does the beast make this messy with 5 successes and a messy crit?
She probably just throws she pushes the paper and the tea off the thing and crawls across the table and just gets up in his face and she's just like, really? And I'm not sure I believe you.
That's a new.
Or do
You
I?
don't believe him.
I don't believe you. You're going to hurt her. I know it. I'm not as green as I'm cabbage looking, young man.
That be as it may. You are not required to believe me to do this job, are we?
I won't let you hurt her. I won't. She's a nice young girl. It's not right that you should hurt her.
How about that other nice young girl? Florence, will you bring Corway to me?
Will you, Florence?
I should tear
We just exactly level of seething.
Florence is I should tear your throat out, young man.
Threats are not an answer, Florence. Are you there yet?
I have celerity. I'm fast.
You are very fast.
Maybe I will and maybe I won't. I don't like hurting people.
You won't have to hurt anyone. And at this point, I think, Ferris, you're right. You won't have to hurt anyone
Mr. Gates,
if you
so
just
lovely to see you again.
do what I say.
Mr. Gates, I have nothing against you conducting business, but you are in my domain. You're meant to present yourself to me.
I have very little time. I apologize, Mr. Vaudeville. I will be
Apology
leaving now.
accepted. Oh, well, if you're done conducting your business, fair enough. Can I offer you a drink on the house before you go?
I appreciate it, but I don't think your bar needs any more eyes on it than it already has.
That's true. Since we're going to be working more closely together in future, I believe, I just would like to say that I'm not averse to working with you, but please, when you do present yourself in my domain, I can be done and give you permission in a flash. I'm sure you would appreciate the same from me.
Yeah, whatever.
Fine, I'll do it.
Oh, thank you, Florence. Be seeing you. And he hands over a piece of paper with an address and a time.
Does he leave?
And then he leaves.
Do we see him walk out the door and shut it behind him?
Yeah.
I'm immediately, as soon as he's gone, going to grab Ferris and just like whisper in his ear, "We need to do that thing we discussed right now." Please.
Doing it fast, it will involve strong arming your...
Do it.
Nate has abilities that might help there. Are you okay with trusting Nate?
It's sure to turn and look at Nate and just be like, as long as he knows the consequences if anything should go awry.
I think I know the consequences more than anyone, don't you?
No, I don't.
First things first.
Florence is in full angry mum mode.
Oh, just so
I'll be
you know,
discreet.
Meta, you have no temporary powers anymore because you reached hunger 5. Or you don't have your old one. I just wanted to quickly check.
Okay.
You know, do you have a preference for a discipline you want? Because this is a bar, and it's Ferris's bar, so there's all flavors.
Either a fortitude or celerity.
You can have either from me.
Can I, though?
Not really, not at the moment. Let's choose between the two. High, it's celerity. You get fortitude. You get 1 dot in fortitude.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Sorry, I interrupted. But now that it's sorted.
Yes.
Yeah. Who is talking to who and...
Florence is currently being like, "Don't you dare do anything."
Tell me what needs to be done and it'll be done. We're a team. And he'll like smile like a shit-eating grin at Florence.
Also, Alex has not joined the group.
Florence, it's your problem. Feel free to clue Nate in. I'm going to make sure that we have a car and some money.
should also, right, I'm going to sort of beckon Nate over and whisper in his ear then, because I'm like really paranoid about Gates.
I'm gonna go looking for Alex after I tell Juliet that she can mind the body until we get back. But A, make
Get
sure that the
snacks.
car's ready, and B, shit ton of money needs to be made liquid.
Can Nate do like a awareness thingy to see if Gates is still present?
Nate, do you currently have Auspex?
No.
Then you can do Wit's awareness if you're paranoid to see if there
I
are
think
any
he
traces
would-
of him,
Yeah, just because like,
but you wouldn't be able to break any sort of obfuscate.
yeah, we'll just do a
Yeah,
awareness.
go for it. Go for it.
Just in case. See if anything was moved in the room. If anything like,
Oh, is that your 3 successes Wit's awareness?
yes.
Sweet. 3 successes. No.
Yeah, then he just wouldn't act any differently. But I think it would have been like just in character for him to do, just to kind of casually like. just in
Totally.
case.
Totally.
So Florence will sort of like just basically beckon you over and whisper in your ear, just be like,
So Gates knows where my daughter is, and he's using her as leverage against me. And we need to move her. We need to get her out of the city before Gates can do anything to her. And I need your help because you can make her leave with and think it's her idea.
That I can do. But are you
Right.
sure that's a good decision? Leaving the city is always a good choice, but we saw what happened to Renala. When they're outside the city, you are technically chained in here.
Yes, but Gates is chained in here as well. At least she's got a fighting chance outside. She's a clever girl.
Bradley was chained in here. And look at the damage that he wreaked. Sometimes closer is not always worser.
He knows where she is right now. If he
There she
doesn't
goes.
know where she is, then
You got it. She goes.
right.
And Nate like stand up.
Oh, and if you have to tell her something, tell her to go back to where she was born.
Where she was born.
Hmm.
Okay.
I can't go with you, obviously, because if Gates is watching me, I need to be elsewhere.
Do you want me to take anything off hers for you? Or give her anything in return? A memento, perhaps? All I have are pictures, and pictures are lovely, but
Well, how about hang on.
Florence will pull out a little locket with sort of like just a little gold locket and be like,
Here you go, dear. You can give her that. Make sure you do give her that, and don't tell her who it's from.
I will.
inside it, by the way, if you bother opening it, is just like a little picture of a baby and a little lock of like blonde baby hair.
Oh, that's cute.
Right. I should go and do his bidding, I suppose.
Are you
Just
actually
take
going
her
to
out.
summon her?
I'll give the appearance.
Seems wise. She was good to us, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. But yes, I need to go now then. I'll go out and distract. Please do your part. It's very important.
It'll be done. But never mind.
Just be aware that if anything happens to her and I'm still alive, bad things will happen.
We're a team. And they like casually sad, like with sadness in his face, look in the direction that Alex and Ferris were.
We're a team.
While whatever is happening out there is happening, I wanted to I wanted to taste if there's any difference from my blood from before and now.
Yeah. Like you just kind of make a hole in your wrist.
Yeah.
And
Well, because I cut myself before and put it in the vials before, so.
Definitely. You don't taste any difference.
Thought so. Okay. Once I realized that, I'm going to, in my head, try to process based on the other issues that we saw before, the information that was brought up by the blood, about the blood curse or something or another, or that something's wrong with the blood that was mentioned. Just kind of like thinking through, like trying to make an evaluation. Again, this is kind of not her specific area. So she does blood alchemy, but not.
Okay, yeah. Would you like to
what I
do a intelligence occult? Or
Sure. That's fine.
you can add your alchemy again.
Okay.
Two successes. Whatever happened or didn't happen to you when Ferris drained you does not seem to be connected to whatever has happened to him. You can basically tell that just because you drank quite a lot of his blood, and maybe either that it didn't taste like anything was wrong with it when you did that, and you're thinking back, there was nothing you feel transferred.
Huh. Did his blood taste the same this time than when he first gave me his blood?
No, it tasted far more powerful.
Interesting. So my conclusion is that it's me.
That can be your conclusion.
Until I have other information.
Totally. Okay. So I think that's a good place for us to finish. But not before we have one final scene. Ferris. The night is almost up. You feel a dreariness. And where does Ferris sleep?
I was going to check on Alex before everyone else set off, but if time's coming short, Ferris would head down to his bedroom, which is actually in the basement.
Okay. Is it a bed? Is it a coffin? Is it...
Oh, it's a very plush bed.
Very plush bed. You lay down on the bed, preparing for death, essentially, and rebirth the next night. And before you begin to drift off and feel your strength sap from you, the whispering gets louder. And flashes, visions, information starts to flood your brain and you cannot control it. You know where you are. You haven't known where you are in such a long time. You've been lost. You know exactly where you are. Or do you? Are you in two places? You're in Nottingham. You were always in Nottingham. This is where Angelica brought you after you moved from France. But it's not. This isn't Nottingham anymore. And a name, the words Enoch, reverberate through your skull. And you start to think back to your normal life, your every night life, as you walk through the streets, and how some of them are dirt, and how some of them are paved, and you start to realize the difference from street to street. People in entirely different clothes from different periods and in entirely different worlds, but in the same place. They're the same place. But it all subsides. As cutting through this noise of information is a voice. You can't tell it seems to be multiple voices, slipping between various pitches and timbres. You found a way out. Good job. At least someone's done it. But I'm afraid I need a way in. So I hope you don't mind if I borrow you for a bit.
Oh shit.
And that is where we will end.
It's all gonna be Scooby-Doo.
Well,
So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. This has been a rock and roll session for me. I've had a great job fucking with you all. So,
Fucking Gates, though. What a dick.
oh, you don't know the half of it.
Oh man, I wish I could murder him.
Cool. So I guess if you would like to support this show and see more of it, I feel like it's probably going to draw to a close sometime in the near future. I'm not going to put a number on it. We've got too many wild cards here.
Let it go on forever.
Yeah, I wish. However, follow all these wonderful people. Follow this, sub bits, Patreon. That's all good too. But I just hope you've enjoyed. Follow the YouTube channel if you want to see previous episodes and other TTRPG stories. And before we go, does anyone want to pimp anything before they leave?
I might be doing a subathon on Sunday because I'm skin. That's pretty much about it. And hopefully on Thursday we've got. Why are you doing the eyebrows thing?
Me?
No, fucking E.
Oh.
Wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle. I was gonna say, yeah. Hopefully on Thursday we've got that Sheepies thing as well.
Yes,
If
Sheepy is
Peter
not
hasn't
here.
Fucking self-destructed.
Totally. We're doing Only War, which is a Warhammer 40k system on Sheepy's channel, Daddy Sheep Do, on Thursday. These lot are
Fingers
going to be
crossed.
around for a couple of episodes. I'm only going to be here this week. So if you're watching on YouTube, sorry you missed it. Check it out on his channel. It'll be uploaded there on YouTube. But yeah, let's...
Oh, we got Mage tomorrow as well. Yay!
Oh, yeah. I'm doing a sub and patron game here. And then probably painting doggos.
You're just using it as an excuse so you can paint doggos, aren't you? You're
I
standing.
don't need
us
an
up for
excuse
the
to paint doggos. Thank you very much.
No, but you're standing us up for the doggos.
No,
And I
I'm not.
want-
I'm standing you up for
I-
my subs.
And Lauren.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, one.
I
then
mean,
the
I can understand that. I can absolutely. I'd stand everybody up for Lauren and doggos. To be
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you again, as always. Thank you, Caldy, for the bits. We're gonna raid someone now.